Good morning, St. Paul students,
Good morning, boys and girls.
and welcome to chapel. Miss Mary and I are here today, and we're going to be talking and spending some time with you and talking about a word we've talked about in the past, hope. We want to have some fun, and we want to teach you a couple things. And first of all, we're going to start by singing.
In the name of the Father.
In the name of the Father.
In the name of the Son.
In the name of the Son.
In the name of the Spirit.
In the name of the Spirit.
All three in one.
All three in one.
In the name of the Father.
In the name of the Father.
In the name of the Son.
In the name of the Son.
In the name of the Spirit.
In the name of the Spirit.
All three in one.
All three in one. Let's begin with prayer. Would you join me? Dear Jesus, thank you for being with us today. Thank you for blessing our school. And even though we're not in the classroom and we're not talking to our friends all the time, you are still loving us and you're still taking care of us and you're being with us with all the people who are around us. Be with us today and help us learn something about you and remember how much you love us. And all God's kids say,
Amen.
Amen. Well, today, somebody you may remember is going to help us tell this story. Because we're going to be talking about Little Lucy Lion. Now, today's topic is about hope. And we want you to pay attention to that word. And in fact, we want you to count how many times you hear that word hope or a word that has hope in it. So we're going to ask you at the end of the chapel to tell us how many times you think you heard it. Mary, Miss Mary, you think they can do that?
I think so.
I
I
hope so.
I hope so too.
Well, there's two. Well, once upon a time there was a little white puppy. She lived by herself in a lonely fenced-in area with nobody to play with, no other puppies or no other people. She hoped every day in her first 7 months of puppy life that she'd have someone to pay attention to her, somebody to share a bone with, somebody to run with, or somebody to play and to chase. Mm-hmm. But it was lonely. It wasn't very interesting where she was living. Have you ever felt that way, Miss Mary? Maybe hoping that this quarantine would end so you could go out and play with your friends or see friends or teachers?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Well, this puppy was hoping every day that she too would have a friend to play with. Now, before we go any further, I'm wondering, Miss Mary, when I say the word hope, do you know what that means?
Well, I use the word all the time, and maybe I really don't know as much as I could.
Well, you're not alone. I went and I asked some of our neighbors to see what they thought the word hope meant. Let's see what they said.
Okay, let's do it.
So let's find out what our neighbors think hope means. What do you think hope is all about? Let's keep our 6-foot safe distance, but let's ask that question.
Well, I think it has something to do with good luck. I was out here Monday, and then all of a sudden, it started to rain while I was chopping the tree down. And I got all rusted and stiff. Now, it was bad luck. I can't move. I was hoping someone would care enough to come by with a can of oil and help me get loose by squirting the WD-40 on my joints. Hey, you have a can in your hand. Can you help me?
Let me see if I can loosen up your joints. Is that better?
Yeah. Thanks, pal. I was hoping for that.
Excuse me, can you help me? Could you tell me what hope means?
Well, I think it's when you really, really, really want something and you really, really hope that you could get it, that you would get it. By the way, I'd really like a new hat. Do you have one?
Well, I don't have a new hat, but I could give you some new straws.
Oh, well, that will do. Thanks. Thanks anyway.
Excuse me, can you tell me what you think hope is?
Oh, hope? Well, I think hope is wishing for something to happen. And while you're wishing for something to happen, you're waiting, and you're waiting, and you're waiting. Like I've been waiting to get off this island.
Well, you could just, like, go inside. Well, that was interesting.
That sure was.
Now, the word hope in the Bible means to have confidence and to be sure about the future because God has made you a promise that He will keep.
You mean like the good luck that the Tin Man was hoping for?
Well, he was hoping for good luck, but God made a promise to care about us. And God sent someone, in this case it was me, to care about him and to oil his joints. That wasn't good luck. It was God at work keeping his promises.
Oh, but the Scarecrow, who really, really, really wanted a new hat, and that Scarecrow didn't get one. How come God didn't give him one?
Well, God wants us to have our needs met. And he must have decided that what the Scarecrow didn't need was a new hat, but he needed some straw. Although I don't know why he needed all those drinking straws, but God gave it to him.
Oh, well, what about that neighbor who was stuck on an island? Did God answer her prayers?
Well, yeah. She just wanted to get off the island and just needed some help. I just had to remind you, you could just walk inside.
Oh, it was so silly. Oh, yeah. So, hope is being able to look forward to something that God promises, because God keeps his promises, and so we can know what our future will be.
Yeah. Hope isn't just wishing, it's counting on God to keep those promises. And we can look forward to that.
Oh, like looking forward to Christmas? Every day could be like Christmas morning when we get a gift, but this gift is from God.
Well, yeah, that's right. Just like Christmas. But even better, because God's gifts last a lot longer than those Christmas presents.
Wow.
Now, back to our puppy story. One day, the puppy discovered the gate in her yard was left open. So she wandered out of the yard with the hope of finding someone who would love her and who would play with her.
She somehow found Mrs. Willis, the art teacher, who was getting out of her car in the parking lot, and the puppy followed her through the gates of St. Paul and went right into the office. Well, Miss Marianne, who loves puppies, made several phone calls, posted pictures on Facebook, and talked to the animal shelter in hopes of finding her owner.
The puppy loved all the attention she was getting, and when the students came into the office to visit her, she lapped it up. The children loved her so much that they made her the school's mascot, and she became our little lion.
She especially was very fond of our hat-wearing pastor. He and I would visit the school office most days just to get our hands licked and to give her a big, loving back rub. Oh, how that puppy hoped she could come home with us. Then, to her surprise and delight, Pastor Bill scooped up the puppy and asked if she would like to live with us. And we took her home with us.
Well, by popular demand, we named her Lucy Little Lion. And we've fallen in love with her. And she really loves us back.
Come on, Lucy. Come on. Oh, there she is. She's so happy to see us.
It was what Lucy had hoped for. And it's what Miss Mary and I had hoped for. Because we'd been thinking about it was time to get a pet. We have some fish, but that's not quite the same thing. So we were thinking about a cat, but God sent us Lucy.
Well, Lucy hasn't forgotten her friends at St. Paul's School who cared for her and looked forward to seeing her with every visit. She hopes to see everybody this fall. By the way, how many times did you catch us saying the word hope? If you got close to 30 times, great job!
Well, thanks for being with us today in chapel. We hope you learned something. We hope you enjoyed the story. We hope you enjoyed seeing Lucy again. And now, go into your day with this blessing. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and to be gracious to you. May the Lord look upon you with his favor and give you his peace. Amen.
Amen. Bye. Bye. Every move I make with you. You make me move, Jesus. Every breath I take, I breathe in you.
Woo, woo, woo.
Every step I take with you. You are my way, Jesus. Every breath I take, I